I want to know if I'm starting my investing career. I'm working in a 9 to 5 job at the moment. I've got a couple of $1,000s in my bank account. How should I be thinking about investing? Should I be investing?
So there are three things that matter in terms of getting a great outcome with investing. Starting capital, how much the amount you start with, length of the runway, how long are you going to invest the money, and the rate of return. So before I answer your question, I want to tell you a story. In 1623, in New York, the Native American Indians in New York who owned the island of Manhattan, the Dutch settlers wanted to buy the island. It can be a great place for us. And the Indians and the Dutch reached an agreement to sell the island of Manhattan for $23. Island of Manhattan for $23 is ridiculous. But let's say the Indians had a trust officer who they said, invest this $23 for the benefit of the tribe and try to do a decent job, right? Now, there's something known as the rule of 72. And the rule of 72 is a very important rule, and I wish they would teach it more in high schools and elementary school. It tells us how long it takes money to double, and it's a kind of a mathematical hack. So for example, if I'm going to get a 7% return and I do 72 divided by 7, that's approximately 10. And at the 7% return, it's going to take 10 years for the money to double. If I have a 10% return, it will take 7 years. If I have a 15% return, it will take 5 years. And if I have a 20% return, it'll take 3.5 years. So this rule of 72 is a nice hack. And it's very important to know how long money takes to double, because then we can start doing a lot of math in our heads. So when we look at these Indians with the $23, if they were getting a 7% return, it would become $46 in 10 years. And then it would become $92 in 20 years and $184 in 30 years, so on. Now, if you go 100 years, right, it's 10 periods of 10. And 10 periods of 10 is 2 to the power of 10. And 2 to the power of 10 is 1,024. So at 7% for 100 years, you would have 1,000 times what you started with.